Welcome to Sunday Dusk, and here's your host, Corvus Twig.
Hello and welcome everybody. Well, welcome in. Oh my God, everybody is an eldritch god in here. Should I be terrified? Should my mind be breaking from the unfathomable vastness and power of the eldritch god? Probably not. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I'm just seeing a cool chatter. Well, thanks for showing up, and thanks to everybody else who is here. Everybody, it is June 2nd, and I'm wearing a very special badge because it is rainbow colored. Welcome to, well, actually, I'm wearing the badge because my guest gave it to me. We'll go more about that later. But it's rainbow colored, so it's perfect. Well, everybody, happy Pride Month! Happy Pride, happy Pride. Be so proud, be so proud. Now, I am not really a member of the LGBTQIA community, but I have many, many friends who do, and I just want you to know that here on Corvus Twig TV, we love you, we support you, we'll always be here for you, and it's a safe space. And if you have a problem with any of that, you think, oh, this bird's woke, then get the fuck out. I don't want you as a viewer. Just get the fuck out. But I don't think any of you are like that. My fans are awesome. Y'all are awesome. And, yeah. We love the L's, the G's, the B's, the T's, the Q's, the I's, the A's. But I also feel, I've always just like, maybe I'll ask my guest, but like, where does non-binary fit on there? Is non-binary under the trans umbrella? It's not really, I might ask that later, because I guess it kind of is. Trans just being kind of hey, my identity does not match the gender assigned at birth. So I guess it's kind of under there. Yeah. But yes, it is a very good badge. It's a very good badge. It's very colorful. The Q part, I mean, honestly, I feel like the Q is kind of the umbrella. Q is, the word queer has been pretty much retaken by the community. And it just kind of means anybody who's, sexual identity and gender identity and sexual orientation, anybody who's basically not straight and cis is kind of under the Q umbrella, if you ask me. So it's like the acronym's almost getting a little too long. It's the plus. Yeah, the plus is good too. Actually, I think the plus is just so that you can get ad-free gayness and access to additional bonus gay content. I think that's what the plus is for. If you subscribe to LGBTQ plus, then yeah, it's a good subscription. I heard the dues are kind of expensive, but worth it. It's from what I hear. Yeah, nice with the pluses. But yeah, looking forward to a good fun Pride Month. I got my RGB lights on the outside of my house, and I got them doing a little rainbow marquee, and then I got more that frame my big front window, and right now they're displaying the trans flag. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'll show a picture in my Discord later, I think. Yeah. But speaking of outside, oh my gosh, today was a very busy day. I got a lot done today. Noticed last time that it rained, I was getting a little dripping out of the side of a gutter. That wasn't good. Went up there, I had some clogs in several of my gutters. And there's a lot of leaves and stuff up there too. So I did the sucky task of cleaning out the gutters. Also, I had a plant, Lily of the Valley. It's a good plant. Fills up an area, but it was filling up an area I didn't want. And there was an area that I did want it, so I dug up a whole bunch of that and transplanted it somewhere new. That was a lot of work. Of course, I had to mow the lawn. Got to do that every week. Put up a new bird feeder. Took down another bird feeder that was kind of falling apart. Let's see. I also planted my pumpkins. I planted my pumpkins. That's right. It's June now, and early June is when you want to plant those pumpkins for some good Halloween pumpkins. So they are planted. So here's hoping that they will start growing and become big, strong pumpkins in time for October. We'll see. I had some decent success last year, but I planted even more this year than I did last year. Because last year, I planted a dozen or so seeds, and I only got like 4 viable plants. So this time I planted like 20 plants, and so here's hoping we get some good viability. And these are seeds directly from the pumpkins I grew last year, so I followed instructions. Everything's like, how do you store your seeds for the winter? I followed those instructions, and so here's hoping that those instructions will work, because I'd be very sad if I don't grow any pumpkins. Of course, if I don't manage to grow any pumpkins, I guess that just means I gotta go buy some. Yeah, it's okay to go buy some pumpkins. I mean, buying pumpkins is what I did every year before last, so I guess if I gotta do it again, it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, that's how my day's been today. Been real busy. Oh, I made tater tot hot dish for dinner. Delicious tater tot hot dish, with mushrooms and mixed vegetables and cream of mushroom soup, and of course a good layer of tater tots on top. Delicious. So delicious. So good. It's one of my favorite things to make, a little tater tot hot dish. Plus, makes good leftovers for work. Yeah. I'm so Midwestern. It's a Minnesota delicacy. And some people say it's a North Dakota dish, but I don't know. But it's good. It's good. I like making tater tot hot dish. I like it. I like tater tots. I mean, tater tots are. I mean, people could do a tier ranking, and everyone's got their own individual tier rankings. Or what is the best way to serve a potato? Especially like a fried one. It's just like, okay, because you think about it, you got your French fry, and then like tater tots are kind of like a type of French fry. I know they're a little different. You're not getting tater tot hot dish for TwigCon. I'm gonna do some like slow barbecue or something like that. Wasn't planning on it. I don't have to. Plus, there's gotta be so many. Okay, Bentai, maybe on Monday or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can squeeze it in. Slow barbecue. I don't think tater tots would work as a slow barbecue. I think if you want to slow cook potatoes, you're really looking more like a baked potato to get kind of a mashed potato or baked potato type of thing. I don't think tater tots would work. Yeah, if you're talking about like fried potatoes, you got the tater tot, you got the waffle fry, you got the steak fry, you got regular French fries, but some people like the shoestring French fries. There's so many ways to do fried potatoes. It's great. Yeah, okay. The rest of us love barbecue. Bentai has to eat tater tot hot dish. That sounds fair. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Well. It's been a long weekend. It's been very busy. We went a lot of garage sailing yesterday. And man, a lot of people sell stuff at garage. Okay, one thing I've noticed going out garage sailing yesterday, there's a lot of people that are trying to sell old electronics. Like so many old electronics. And I just wonder, is anybody going to buy these? Who wants like obsolete electronics? Things with hookups that nobody ever uses anymore. And it's just like, yeah, maybe a hobbyist or something who does like a cool retro setup type thing could find use for some of these things. But man, that is so niche. Nobody who's looking to go find deals at garage sales is going to buy stuff like that. And then also so many clothes. Oh my God, I would never buy clothes from a garage sales. It's not my kind of thing. But I ended up getting a lawn chair. Because, I got, TwigCon's coming up in August, and I'm going to need some more lawn chairs. I got a pretty decent lawn chair for $5. Can't go wrong. $5. $5 is good. And, my girl Crow, she works, she works in fledgling school, and they're always looking for, like, extra materials and toys and stuff in there. So she actually loaded up quite a bit, because they got a cool thing where, like, she can buy stuff and they'll reimburse her for it. So that's pretty cool. Unwashed secondhand clothes need the freezer treatment. Yeah, something like that. I don't trust it. But yeah, you never know what you're going to find. Sometimes you find some cool stuff. Of course, number one thing I'm always looking for at garage sales is Halloween decorations. See if you can find some. And I actually did find some. Just a little battery-powered pumpkin string thingy you can just hang up. Got it for 50 cents. It works. They've tested it. It works. A little 50-cent string of light-up pumpkins. You just flip a switch. There we go. Yeah. Well, I suppose I've rambled on enough. It's time to go to the news. News you can use. Actually, none of this is useful news. Let me scoot down, get a little small here. All right. Well, my first one is a tale of well, I guess it's not really a crime, but it kind of feels like a crime. It's somebody did something wrong. And it was they were caught due to the dog. So you see, a woman was having some issues with her dog. Her dog was feeling very sick. The poor dog was feeling very bad, and had swallowed something they shouldn't have swallowed, and was getting pretty sick. So emergency trip to the vet, and they were able to, do what those doctors do, and they were able to remove the foreign item. And luckily, the puppy is perfectly okay now. Made a full recovery. Puppy's fine. That's the most important. We gotta get that out of the way quickly. We gotta get that out of the way. Puppy is totally fine. But the item caused a little bit of a stir between the woman and her husband. For you see, the swallowed item was a pair of lingerie undies. And the thing is that the lingerie undies did not belong to the wife. Did not belong to the wife at all. So, yes, the puppy was able to sneak in and grab something they weren't supposed to grab, swallowed it. Next day, wife's like, "Oh no, are you okay?" Gets it, and yeah, well, it's definitely a way to find out. So the news story does not have the full details because, well, I mean, that is a personal discussion between the woman and her husband. But shame on you, husband. Shame on you. Cheating's never good. Never okay. No, not a fan. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, that's it's good to find out, but well, I mean, of all the ways to find out that your partner's cheating on you, it's got to be one of the worst ways. Because also, big vet bill, and that's good. Most flavored panties. Those flavored panties are usually not made of fabric, swallowable. You usually don't flavor a panty that's still made out of like linen. Yeah. I think they are similar to fruit roll-ups in terms of what they're made, the edible ones. But in that case, the dog would not have needed emergency surgery to remove it. So, yeah. But a quote from one of the veterinarian technicians: "Everyone joked about the thong, and all of us looked at it pretty much, and there were a few jokes about it, but none of us thought it would ever result in what happened. It is really sad with the lady. She tried not to cry, but it was very obvious she was going to eat what she was going through, even though she was just pure rage-filled." Yeah, I understand it. But, I mean, I don't know if there's a good resolution to this, but I hope there's not children involved anywhere. I mean, divorce is always so much worse if there's children involved. But wish the best for people, except for the guy. Fuck him. But anyway, thank you, Julia Banham from The Mirror, for the article, "Woman Discovers Husband is Cheating on Her After Puppy Swallows His Mistress's Thong." Yes. Now, my next story has a little bit to do with true crime, but more to do with crimes that have not been committed yet, but might someday. And that is crimes in space. Yes, there is a new field called astroforensic. You might be familiar with the forensics of blood spatter technology. And in order to solve crimes, they will do blood spatter analysis and try and figure out, where did the shot come from? What kind of knife might have been used? There's a whole bunch of stuff on it. But these people will be like, hey, you know what? Someday, there's going to be a murder in space. Based off of humanity and the way that we are, eventually, someday, someone is going to murder somebody else in space. And they want to be like, hey, let's see if we can give them a little bit of a head start and see how blood reacts in a zero-G environment. What kind of spatters and splots do we get in a zero gravity environment, because obviously it's going to act very, very different when there's no gravity involved. Quite obviously. So these scientists from the University of Staffordshire, which is they went up in the ship that does the big parabolic flights that causes a few minutes of weightlessness. The plane that is so wonderfully referred to as the Vomit Comet, and they have used material that has basically the same consistency and fluid dynamics as blood, and they're using it to try and figure out how they might see how blood might react in a zero-G environment. And so they've started doing it now. They say that it's about a mixture of 40% glycerin and 60% red food coloring. So it's about the same density and viscosity human blood. They're trying to do this as scientific as they can, but you know what? Here's the problem. They're trying to recreate Earth-based blood splatter forensics in space. But there's a big, giant problem with that. More and more evidence, when done by actual scientists, is showing that, well, the entire field of blood splatter forensics analysis is mostly pseudoscience anyway. And in fact, the vast majority of forensic science is also pseudoscience. And we're finding out now that almost, the entire field is based off of faulty data and faulty conclusions and was never really properly tested. And thousands and thousands of people have been convicted on evidence that's almost entirely pseudoscience. And it's real bad. It's the entire field of arson investigation has basically been upended because they've been finding all these fires that they know for sure were not arson, displaying all the key components that the arson investigators were saying, well, this was definitely arson based off of these patterns like this. And it turns out, nope, the fire can do that whether or not it was arson. And people have been convicted for arson for murder, for setting a fire that killed people, when it turns out the only evidence against them was this faulty arson forensics. So Behind the Bastards, about a month ago, did a really, really good episode on how bad forensic science is, and there's a few other places it's coming out here. So, as much as, I want to say is that I admire the thought behind this blood splatter analysis in space thing. I don't think it's a valuable use of time and resources, and I think we need to focus on making sure our Earth-based forensics, because honestly, the other thing is all right, somebody murders somebody in space, I feel like the list of suspects ain't gonna be too long. I feel like it's gonna be pretty obvious pretty quickly who the murderer is, because there's 3 goddamn people on this space station. You know what I mean? But I suppose farther in the future, maybe we'll have bigger space stations with larger crews. But even then, it doesn't seem like a good use of time to me. But you know what? It's still interesting. I still thought it was interesting. So thanks, Michelle Taylor from Forensic Magazine, for the article, Astroforensics, Analyzing Bloodstain Patterns in Space. And if you want to learn more about it, I recommend going and checking out these articles, because they're much longer. Like that one especially was a really long article. So if you want to learn more about it, go read that article. ForensicMagazine.com. You can find it pretty easy. Now, my next two, we're getting a little bit lighter. My next story comes from Colorado, and specifically involves this bear. What's that bear doing up in that tree? Well, it was being up in a tree. It's what bears do. Bears climb trees. Black bears climb trees. Black bear likes to climb a tree. It's what they do. But unfortunately, this tree is in somebody's backyard. Someone's backyard house. It was in Golden, Colorado. And they were trying to figure out a way to get that bear down. Now, we obviously have the tried and true tactics of shooting it with tranq darts and having it fall onto a trampoline. We've seen those hilarious videos. But they wanted to start off by doing a little thing about, hey, what if we just try and discourage him from being there? What if we try and scare him out of this tree? So what they did is they decided to have a drone buzz nearby it. And it seemed to pretty much ignore the drone. And so they're like, okay, well, the drone's got a speaker on it. What if we had it start playing some really loud music? And so they did that, and they're like, well, what music should we choose? So what might be the most aggravating to a bear to annoy them? And the song of choice that they went with was the Black Sabbath classic, I Am Iron Man. So they started playing Iron Man, the song, out of the speakers to it. And the bear just kind of like stared at the drone and just like seemed to be looking at the music and just stood there. And just like the bear was listening to the music. The bear is just like, I mean, the bear didn't start like nodding to the beat or anything like that, but the bear was just like, I'm kind of digging this Ozzy Osbourne. As they were saying, if he starts banging his head, we got a problem, someone said in the video, but the bear didn't move. Well, turns out all they had to do was just wait. The bear stayed up in there all day. As soon as night fell, all the people left, went to bed, and when they woke up in the morning, the bear was gone. So the bear's just going to chill up there during the day and then left at night. And so turns out, don't play metal to get bears to go away. It doesn't work. But really, what the Rangers were saying is, if you're in an area where there are black bears nearby, please, keep your trash inside and locked away until it is the morning of trash day. You don't want to leave a bin outside because that just lures the critters, whether they be squirrels or raccoons or bears. Just keep your stuff locked away, and you'll be okay. Now, I want to thank Chris Oberholtz from Fox Weather, Colorado, for their article, Ozzy Osbourne, no match for stubborn Colorado bear and neighborhood tree. Now, my next and final story comes right here from the state of Minnesota. Because some interesting things have been happening, particularly in the NBA. Now, I don't know if you know, but the Minnesota Timberwolves are our NBA team, and they have been historically very bad. But this year they were pretty good, and they played up against the Denver Nuggets. Speaking of Colorado, and they ended up defeating them in a 7-game series, and they were going to go to the next round. And if they won the next round, then they're in the championship. Spoiler alert: they lost the next round. They lost the 4 games in a row and lost the 7-game series in 4 games. They sucked. But after that Game 7 of the first round, oh my, they were living the high life. They were so happy. They were so excited. And there was a little interview that happened between Charles Barkley and Anthony. So Charles Barkley, retired, now an announcer, and Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I'm just going to play for you the clip because there's really no other way to talk about it.
Well, CB, man, congratulations, man. It's an honor to watch you play. Okay, I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years.
Bring your ass.
Hey, can you send me a list of good restaurants? We're going to be there for like 5 days. I want you to send me a list of some good restaurants, okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna find your number through somebody. I'm gonna send them to you.
I appreciate it, my brother. Congratulations. I'll see you Wednesday.
Appreciate it, baby.
Well, if you want to.
All right, so you notice that Anthony Edwards said, "Bring your ass." Well, let's just say that clip went viral. And now, believe it or not, Explore Minnesota, which is the Minnesota Tourism Board's campaign, has now made that their official slogan. Bring your ass to Minnesota. Hell yeah. It's amazing. After that happened, they decided to... So John Savitt, a Minnesota comedian, bought the domain bringyourass.com, and it redirects to exploreminnesota.com, which is, the Minnesota Tourism Board's thing. And Bring Your Ass has now become, as you can see, this is a real billboard. This is not a Photoshop somebody made. This is an actual billboard in downtown Minneapolis. This is a real thing. They said that the Explore Minnesota website, since they've done this, has had a 135% increase of web users based off a typical day. And Monday's users alone, they said, was up 211% compared to Sundays. It was absolutely crazy. And now Bring Your Ass and you know what? As a Minnesotan, I agree. Bring your ass. We're going to have a little celebration called TwigCon in August, and it's basically just come hang out with me. We're going to go to the Renaissance Festival, the Minnesota State Fair. Oh, the Minnesota State Fair. And people talk about the Texas State Fair. Yeah, it's a great one. But the Minnesota State Fair, oh, it's something to behold. It's an amazing fair. Most of your states probably have crappy little fairs. Not the Minnesota State Fair. It's huge. I mean, just absolutely gigantic. So much to do. You could go there 3 full days and not do the same things twice. It's going to be great. Great food, great, exhibits, shows, you name it. There's just so much great stuff at the Minnesota State Fair. We also have the Mall of America, but also our parks. Oh, Minnesota's got some great parks. We have so many great, wonderful natural parks. Look, I'm telling you, I walk less than 10 minutes from my house. Just a nice casual walk. And in 10 minutes, I'm surrounded by trees and wildlife. And, even though I can hear stuff off in the distance, if I looked around, I'd swear I'm in the middle of a forest. And there's so many trees and parks and stuff like that. I tell you, you go up into downtown Minneapolis and you look out over the Minneapolis, the Twin Cities skylines. You know what you see? You see trees. You just see a constant canopy of trees with the occasional, water tower and taller building poking up out of it. But it's trees, it's trees, it's trees. It's beautiful here. We have so many trees. It's a wonderful, beautiful area. There's lots of good culture. You know that Minneapolis has more theaters per capita than New York, Chicago, and LA? It's true. We got so many theaters. You can see so many great shows at so many wonderful theaters. We got, you can see improv shows. I'm in improv shows. So yeah, when it comes to Minnesota, bring your ass. Bring your ass here. It's worthwhile. So, I suppose thank you to ESPN for the coverage for the clip. And then thank you to Hannah Flood of Fox 9 News for her article, Anthony Edwards, Bring Your Ass, Remark, Inspires Website Redirect, Boosts Explore Minnesota Traffic. Yeah, Minnesota's great. I know a lot of people think of it as a flyover state, but we're really not. We got great culture, great food, great nature. You come here, bring ya ass. We talk about bring ya ass, Dre. Yes, it's so great, and I hope we keep it. Bring ya ass to Minnesota. Well, that's all I have to talk about now for the news. Because now I got a person to talk to, and that's the whole point of the show, is persons. That's actually kind of longer. Sorry I went on so long. Well, my guest is a wonderful, wonderful person. They were introduced to me through our good friend Dre Frigg. They are a streamer. They are an artist. They are a squid. Everybody, please welcome to Sunday Dusk, Puniban! Squishy. You need to get that sound alert. You need the squishy sound alert.
I do need that sound alert.
Do you know what that's from?
Yes. Wait, maybe. Oh, I just got big. There we go.
I would hope you know what squishy. It's squishy.
Squishy. I don't have good brain retention.
So I might... Squishy is a Kirby character, but specifically, that squishy image and sound effect is from Kirby's Avalanche. Which is...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Which is a Puyo Puyo, basically.
Yes.
And yeah, before each round, when you're about to meet the next opponent, they say their name. And when it gets to Squishy the Squid, it goes, Squishy.
Yes, now I remember that one.
Yes, it's just one of my favorites. Well, question is everyone's been wanting to know is, as a squid, are you squishy?
Very.
Okay.
Very squishy.
Squishy squid.
But do not squish me.
Well, for anybody who's here who maybe doesn't know about you, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? Like, who is Punibone the squid?
Sorry, I got nervous. I get nervous talking about myself. I guess I'm an artist streamer. I sometimes play games. I mostly do illustration and graphic design.
Mm-hmm.
I collect dolls, as you saw probably when you went through my Twitter.
Oh, yes. Ponybone's Twitter is amazing. Just go to the media tab and just start scrolling, and you'll be like, wow.
It's quite an adventure to scroll through. You get to see all my brain rot and hobbies.
Mm-hmm. Well, and since we're already talking about it, I guess I might as well start this scroll up myself. Now.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things, I mean, I'm going to start with the big thing here that Dre told me about, and I think is amazing. You did official artwork for Hatsune Miku?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. That was so I've been a fan of Miku. It's gonna be 16 years this year that I've been a fan of her. In February of last year, Krypton Future Media actually contacted me and asked me to do one of the sub visuals for the concert for the 10-year anniversary. Well, one of the tours are part of the 10-year anniversary tour. So that was pretty wild. When I found out, my partner thought that someone had died. I reacted so insanely.
I mean, that I can't even imagine. That must have been so exciting.
It was very exciting. It's one of my biggest goals as an artist was to work with Miku. So now I need a new goal.
Well, I mean, obviously your next biggest goal was to be on Sunday Dusk, but...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. And now I've already gotten that big goal. Now what am I going to do? My life is pretty complete now.
Well, maybe... Well, no, you've done this too. You've smelled Dreyfrig's stink in person, so you've done that too.
Several times.
Yeah. God, where else is there to go? Really?
I know.
Play Elden Ring.
I actually have never played Elden Ring.
I could never get into Souls-like games. I can appreciate that they're very good games, but they're just it's not for me. They're not for me.
Beautiful and interesting games, but I've never played them. Get a cameo on Splatoon 4. That would be cool.
Well, a question I used to ask that maybe you know the answer to, if you were to take all the games that you had on Steam or whatever on your devices, what game do you think does have the most hours played?
So it's funny, I guess a little backstory to why I have to say this before I go into that. The reason I started streaming was because I stopped playing video games for a long time because I'm a workaholic. And so I was like, I'm going to trick my brain into playing games by making it a job. And so, yeah, Dre bullied me into streaming. He bullied me into becoming a VTuber as well.
Yeah, Dre's a bully like that.
Dre is a bully. So I started streaming so that I'd feel less guilty about playing games. So my goal as doing streaming is to play a variety of games. And one of the games I took a chance on was Cult of the Lamb. Because everyone was talking about it. And I think that game probably has the most hours in my library because I keep coming back to it. It's got very unique sound design. The art style is very cute and unique. It's got a really good story. Yeah, all my followers like to shit in the church at the game.
You know, that's one of those games where I own it, but I've never actually played it, and I really should. I
definitely recommend it. I always recommend it to people that are looking for more games to not only get into, but also find more games that they can interact with their audience with.
They've done such cool Twitch interaction with it. Like I have designed my own follower avatar on like 4 different people's streams.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part is I can not only get my Twitch watchers in, but my friends can come and technically play with me. And they've added redeems that people can send messages within your game.
Nice.
Too. So I really do like that. But I think Cult of the Lamb would definitely have the most hours in my library right now, other than Final Fantasy.
The original, not 14, of course, right?
No comment.
Look.
You've already outed me in the slideshow.
I know what Final Fantasy 14 can do to people.
I've seen. It's ruined me.
Friend of mine was playing since it was first released back in the legacy days of it. And I'm pretty sure he's probably close to 6 years playing the game. And by that, I do not mean that he started playing in 2018. No, I mean he has 6 years of in-game time.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he's like apparently like in the top 0.01% of players in terms of what they have and like gold. And it's just like, you want to come hang out? Do you have to go do your raids? I think that's maybe a little bit too much, but hey, you know what? He's made some good friends doing it. He goes to conventions. He has a good time. Guess who am I to judge?
It's been very interesting that I've gotten to meet a lot of fun people, and it introduced me to my most recent brain rot, because for a long time it was just Miku. And now it's an elf man and Miku that I'm obsessed with.
And you see, I refuse to play Final Fantasy XIV. And for the sole reason is that I believe it is an extremely good game. And I know that if I started playing it, I'd become hooked. And I would play it too much. So
100%. If you're afraid of that, I would run away.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, sometimes you got to know your limits and stick to them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why I avoid gacha games for the most part, because I know I get way too into them.
Yeah, I've avoided the gacha games myself, but then I kind of look at it, it's just like, why am I playing Hades again? The thing is, I guess I'm kind of playing it again because I started a fresh new save file, and it is fun seeing the story elements over again. And it's like, I've accomplished everything there is to do in that game, except for beat the game on a fresh run.
I have actually never played Hades. It's on my list of games to play.
It's very good. But I refuse to watch anybody play Hades 2 or play Hades 2 because it's in early access and it's not done yet. And I want to play it when it's complete and fresh. You know what? I want to play it without knowing anything about it. I mean, I know some stuff about it. I know that the new Aphrodite artwork is like, damn.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot about that too.
Yes.
But that's a good idea. I like doing that too. I've done that with some like shows I like to watch. I'm like, I know it's not done yet, but I'm gonna wait till it's done so I can just binge it.
Yes. What is the last show that you binged?
Currently I'm binging What We Do in the Shadows. Kraka and Dre actually introduced me to that when they were visiting the other week.
Very nice. I've
been really enjoying it. It's really funny. There's a lot of jokes I keep repeating from the show. It is a very fun show. Because have you watched it?
I have not. I mean, I know about it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll add it to the list.
It's good.
What platform is it on?
I think it's on. Was it on Amazon?
Amazon. Okay.
I can't remember now, but it's like The Office meets vampires.
My girlfriend had never seen The Office before, and so we started watching it, and we just last week watched the finale.
Oh, how did you find the last season of The Office?
I refuse to answer the question on the grounds that it may incriminate me.
I am a certified hater of the last season.
Oh, I actually think the last season is a lot better. Oh, you said find as in finding like what did you think of it, not find as in how did you find a way to stream it. Got it.
No, yeah.
I think the 8th season is worse than the 9th season. I didn't like Robert California.
Oh yeah, Robert California was weird.
And I feel like the storylines weren't as good in season 8. I think season 9 was fine. Like, there's some parts of it I didn't care for, but I feel like a lot of the characters did get a satisfying end to their, story arcs. I'm guessing you were one of the people that really, really hated Brian, the boom mic guy. I felt like that entire plot in the show was very unrealistic. Well, the thing is, the instant he showed up, like, he was going to have a bigger part and do more, but as soon as he showed up, the fans backlashed hard. and they rewrote
Oh.
like a lot of the second half of the season.
Anti-spoilers.
I think when did The Office finish airing? Like 2013.
It's been a while.
So it's been like 10 years. If you haven't seen it right now, you're not going to. Also, it's a comedic sitcom. Storylines don't matter that much.
Who
But yeah,
watches it for the plot?
Like most sitcoms, it peaked seasons 3 and 4.
Mm.
You know, isn't that just a thing with most TV shows that last 7 or more seasons? That seasons 3 and 4 are where it peaks.
Oh, 100%.
Because, like, you know, I feel like at that point it's because it's like, all right, by seasons 3 and 4, the actors and the writers know the characters, but they haven't run out of good storylines yet. And so they're able to really write good stuff.
And I feel like once it gets past, if it's popular enough to get past those seasons, once it does, they start trying to throw in new plot lines that don't make sense. Or they try to recycle them.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, Bob's Burgers is one of those shows that feels like they're in recycle mode now.
Oh, yeah, I feel that. And I made the mistake of binging Grey's Anatomy because I like having shows on when I'm working on stuff.
How is that show still on the air?
I don't know, and you know what? If you ever watch it, don't go past the 14th season because they literally just reset the story and just start over. And I'm like watching, I'm like, this literally just, like, because I binged it over the course of a few months while I was working on things. And I got past the 14th season, and I was like, This is what the first season was, just with new characters.
Yeah, never watched a single episode of Grey's Anatomy. The only medical drama I ever really watched a bunch of was House, but even that started to wear on me after a while. It's just like,
they start to repeat a lot of like the medical stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know. I have an issue with protagonists that are just assholes. Yeah.
Yeah, people who are just assholes, right?
Yeah. We all like assholes. We like nice people. I mean, bad characters can be kind of interesting sometimes. Like, I mean, I think Walter White in Breaking Bad is a good example of a bad guy who is the protagonist.
I'm so glad that people are finally understanding that he is a bad person.
Yeah.
Because I remember when that show came out, I actually had, fun fact, I had 2 bearded dragons named after characters in that show.
Were they named Badger and Skinny Pete?
No, I had one named Hector.
Better. Hector? Hector's good.
We had Hector, and then mine was named Gustavo because I love Gustavo Fring. And I actually once, when I was coming back from OhioCon years ago, came face to face with his actor in
Giancarlo
Customs.
Esposito.
Yeah, I was like very, very tired. It was like almost midnight, and I'm in Customs waiting to go to the booth. And I look up and I look at him. I'm like, why does that guy look so familiar? And I'm staring at him, and he smiles at me and nods his head. And I'm like, no, that can't be him. And we leave, and sure enough, his driver was standing at the entrance with a sign with his name on it.
Awesome.
That's like my closest celebrity encounter.
The fact that he just nodded and smiled, like, that seems like a thing.
Yeah.
He's like, yep. Yeah, yes, it's me.
I think he did. He was hoping I wasn't going to say anything, and I was like, you know what? I won't say anything. I'm going to respect his privacy because it's midnight and we're in Toronto Airport.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, a lot of people say like, oh, this celebrity's a jerk. A lot of it has to do because, you know, well, you had a bad experience because they were trying to have a private moment with their family and you interrupted them. And it's just like, yeah.
Kind. They're people too. Celebrities are people too.
Funny thing is that like Tom Hanks does not like his reputation of being a super nice guy. Because he's like, now everybody has this expectation of me to always be super kind and generous. But guess what? I'm just a normal guy. I treat the people I meet decently, but sometimes I have bad days. Sometimes I'm grumpy. I'm not always the nicest guy to be around because I'm a normal goddamn human being. And now I feel like I have to live up to this, you know, impossible, you know, standard.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. That would be a very exhausting standard to have thrust onto you.
But I mean, I guess to truly be a nice guy, you got to be like a Keanu, who was like, hey, this John Wick movie that we're trying to get made, we're starting to run a little low on budget shortfall, so I'm just going to forego my salary to make sure the crew can get paid.
Mm-hmm. The
And
quiet kind guy.
Yeah. And he didn't make a big deal out of it. Other people found out about it, obviously, and spread the story. But it's just like, he had a situation where he made a personal sacrifice to make sure others are taken care of. That's being a good guy.
Yeah, I like that, and I feel like that's a much kinder way to live.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the key to really being a good person is, are you willing to, like, anybody can be nice and generous to people around them that they consider to be in their circle, but it's just like, are you willing to sacrifice something for the sake of other people? And I think that's one of the true measures of what makes somebody a good person,
And not wanting, understanding not every act of kindness comes with recognition.
Yeah, just do the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing, and don't make a big deal out of it. Yeah. Personally, I don't always meet that standard myself, but I try. Do you try?
Well, you seem like a very kind person to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I'm just saying this because I need external validation. Please give me my external validation.
I'll send you virtual head pats.
Yeah, actually, you can do that in chat right now.
Oh, can I send you a head pat?
If you have enough points for it.
I've been slowly collecting my point bonuses so that I can. Oh,
Wrong.
hell yeah!
What the hell? It didn't trigger. Oh, god damn it! Mix it up. Mix it up has got an error message on there. Hold on a second. I'm having to reset Mix It Up.
Drink some water.
And now I have to drink some water. Okay, come on, drink some water.
See, I believe, Dre, I believe you are a very kind person.
Yeah, Tits is working. Mix It Up is... Okay, yeah. As soon as it gets going, Hasio does the super bonk. Now, I know I have the hotkey for it, but the problem, the hotkey is also the same thing that throws random tits at him. So we're gonna do your head pat. Ow! And I get hit by a bear. Probably the one that was in the tree in Colorado. And then we got to do the next one that came after that, and I got hit by Mr. Peanut. But now I got my head fit. Ow! Gosh! Now he's just coming everywhere at me.
I love when tits is activated on someone's side, but I can't see it on my end.
Oh, so you just see my model go donk.
Dre has like
I could just spam F9.
Yeah, because Dre has a giant redeem that like I'm sure you see it that goes for like 5 minutes, and it just looks like he's having a seizure on my end.
Dre's a good person, hates what they are, and try not to be. I know. Dre's like sometimes tries to be oh great. Now we've summoned Rodney. Now he's summoned Rodney.
Is this the shit talk Dre portion now that I was
This
promised?
is the shit talk Dre portion now. See,
Dre is a very kind person, and he pretends that he's not.
Okay, Rodney. Wow. Okay, we were just kind of We were just kind of joking about Dre Frig, but Rodney just took it way too far. That's well, no, that is so rude.
I love the rubber chicken.
His name's Rodney.
Hello, Rodney.
Rodney will have words, yeah. That's the thing is Dre Frig, Dre Frig's always gonna I'm gonna be a jerk and snarky and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they're a total sweetheart. We know it.
They are.
They got too much love in their heart.
They are. And they never listen. Yeah. And now I can say it, and Dre can't do anything about it because he can't come in here.
Dre is the kind of person that will scold you and yell at you if you're self-depreciating and say negative things about yourself.
Yeah, Dre does that to me all the time.
Yeah, well, sometimes we need that, because it's too easy to be mean to ourselves. We don't want to be mean.
Dre yells at me because I'm a workaholic. And I take on way too many jobs because I'm a yes person. Someone's like, can you do this? I'm like, I don't want to disappoint, so I'll take on the job, and then I get yelled at by Dre.
So I suppose this would be entirely tacky and a bad taste to ask you to do some fan art of me.
I would 100% do fan art of you, and I'm not saying that because I'm a yes person. I want to do more VTuber fan art once I'm done with my current big NDA projects.
Look, I don't know if you saw on my starting soon screen, I have a little rotating slideshow of fan art, and hasn't had any new entries in a while.
My favorite one was the bikini one.
Yeah, that was Noir Kyoko who did that one. Yeah, that was a thing Kyoko did. And
you definitely rock a bikini.
I do rock a bikini. That's why I'm so mad at it, because I'm like, God damn, I look good. Oh, Hasio's working on one right now. Oh, I can't wait to show this one off. He showed me some preliminary sketches, and it's amazing, and I can't wait to show it off. It's really good.
Exciting.
It's really good.
Getting fan art's always fun.
Okay, seriously, half of my fan art is done by Hasio. Hasio, you are a rock star. You are like my biggest fan, and thank you so much for the follow, Gildaria Tanogen.
It's my part.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a good follow. It's pro follow. Hey, what that means, I got 2 new followers tonight. I hit 550. Yay! 550. It's not a major milestone, but anything that's like, a 50, something of 50 feels big. I just need to get. That's
still a milestone.
I need to get 116 more followers
to reach your big goal
of 666. Now you can just stay there.
Then we can summon some fun things.
Time to celebrate by drinking a 5th. It's a work night. I don't like to drink. I don't like to drink on work nights. You know what I mean?
I call myself, what would you say, like, fuel efficient when it comes to drinking. So I don't drink during the week, because if I have even, like, half of a drink, I'm done.
Well, I've pretty much switched over from my intoxicating things from being alcohol to being THC edibles.
Oh, I've only had that once.
Well, and I've actually found these. There's this new one that they're not THC. They're magic mushroom, and it is 10 milligrams per gummy. And then on the bottom it says mucimol, ibotenic, and muscarine. And it doesn't make me feel high like weed does. Like, I feel like I still have much better control of my faculties and, of my body and stuff like that. But it just makes me feel really calm and euphoric.
I've never tried that.
Just makes me feel happy. And that's good, That's good. Like, honestly, it makes me feel better than any SSRIs ever did. That's for damn sure. And also doesn't have all the bad side effects.
True. That's one thing that sucks about some stuff. Like alcohol, you do not feel good in the morning if you don't drink enough water.
Yeah, I've never had a hangover from having edibles. And but the thing is, I still enjoy, alcohol from time to time, but it's more of a social thing, like chilling with some friends, have yourself a nice, good quality whiskey, That's why it's like, that's when it's worth to like buy a more expensive whiskey, one that you can like just slowly sip, and since you're only having it, on rare occasions, and you get to enjoy it a little bit better, because you
True.
Not like your everyday whiskeys. I used to have everyday whiskeys, and now it's just
everyday whiskey.
No, just have a little. That would be the Kirkland brand, because Costco.
I don't think we can even get whiskey at Costco here.
What? Oh my God, Costco! Like, liquor is the best reason to have a Costco. You can get a 1.75 of their vodka for like $15, and it's like it's not top shelf, but it's definitely not bottom shelf. It's like a good mid-tier vodka, and you get a ton of it for cheap. And if you not make any mixed, and then they have their blended Scotch whiskey, which is like $20 for 1.75, and it's a pretty decent. Like, it's better than Jameson, but way cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Alcohol's very controlled in where it's sold here.
Yeah.
I live in Ontario. In Canada.
Oh.
So,
I didn't know we had a Canadian here.
I'm a certified
Tell
Canadian.
Lampy I say hi. You know Lampy?
I think so. I'm not good with names.
Lampy Lamp Devil. Yeah, he's one of my regulars around here.
Hmm.
She's cool. She lives way over in eastern Canada. Like, I don't know the exact province, but it's like multiple time zones away.
Oh, it's in Ontario. I'm just in stinky old Ontario.
I just think it's so weird. It's just like living in Minnesota. I've never actually been to Canada. I've been within like 50 miles of the border several times, but never quite crossed it.
Nice to visit. There's some really nice places to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just think it's funny that the Twin Cities is further north than a significant chunk of the Canadian population.
That is, oh yeah. I mean, a huge chunk of the Canadian population is central to very specific parts. A lot of Canada is actually empty.
Yeah. Isn't it like one of the least densely populated countries in the world?
Yeah, because everybody lives in Ontario or like on the other side, like around Vancouver.
Well, like what percentage of the Canadian population lives within 100 miles of the United States? Pretty high percentage.
It's a pretty big chunk because a lot of Canadians back in the day would cross the border to go shopping before our dollar hit rock bottom.
Yeah. Now we just cross the border so we can get affordable medication.
Yeah, you come to Canada, everything's like on a 50% discount for you.
I should come to Canada.
You should. Nice. It's a very fun visit. We got to do some touristy things the other week when Croc was visiting.
I believe I'm closest to Winnipeg. I think that's the closest city to Minnesota.
I think so, yeah. MooseCon. Go to Anime North. Come to our Anime Con.
Look, I mean, I don't really care that much for anime. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe okay. there's a couple that have me intrigued. Like, it's kind of funny. One of the podcasts I listen to, they do like show recommendations, and they have never once ever talked about anime. But Jason Mantzoukas, who's like a comedian podcaster, he's like, I've been watching the show on Crunchyroll called Frieren. I think I pronounced that right. And he's like, it's amazing. It's so good. I'm like, okay, if Jason Mantzoukas says it's good, I guess I should probably check it out.
If you like fantasy, I highly recommend it. It is a very good fantasy anime.
I also do want to one. You had the fan art of her eating a burger. That food.
Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dungeon Meshi looks interesting too. So
that's another favorite of mine.
It's like everyone was saying how great My Hero Academia was, and I watched like 4 or 5 episodes, and I hated it.
It's too shonen. That's the thing. I don't really shonen animes aren't great recommendations in my opinion. But fantasy animes, honestly, if someone says a fantasy anime is good, it's good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them end up being isekais, and
isekai is such a lame. I just think it's funny is that like, what's the first isekai? Oh, well, it's Wizard of Oz. I mean, come on. Boy, Dorothy gets knocked out and injured horribly in a tornado and gets isekai'd into the land of Oz.
You're not wrong. I can't deny that at all. I will allow it.
Yeah. I mean, you are a big fan, though, of just animation in general, from what I understand.
I was very much raised on it.
What were some of your like favorites as a kid?
Some of my favorite animations as a child. I did grow up on a lot of Ghibli. Ghibli, I don't know how everyone pronounces it differently.
I think it's Ghibli, but it's okay, I recently did The Last Unicorn on Twig's Missing Movies. What did you think of that movie?
Actually, fun fact, that's an anime, or it is an animation I've not watched.
Wow, it's
one that's always been
movie.
It's a Bond's Missing movie too. It's one that's always been on my list that I never get around to. And I really do want to watch it because I do enjoy watching animated movies and kind of picking them apart because I really did want to go into animation at one point.
Have you tried doing any animations recently?
I haven't done them in a long, long time. Mostly because I have carpal tunnel and tendonitis in my drawing hand.
Aw.
And animation is a very extensive thing. So I've done like I haven't done it in a while, but I do like simple animations. But yeah, it's why I don't do it. It's because it's very tense on my wrist. So I try to reserve my wrist for my illustration work, as you've seen.
Yes, but your art is very good.
Thank you.
And you have, it's kind of, it's pretty recognizable. Like I see a consistent style and theme throughout a lot of your work.
That makes me very happy to hear. Because like I've had people come to me, like specifically when it was Miku Expo. And they're like, I've been following you since you were in high school, and it's been wild watching you grow as an artist. And they'd be like, I'm so proud of you for drawing for Miku. And if they've been following me since high school, it means it's been, I'm 27 next month, so it's been a long time they've been following me.
Well, I'm proud of you. Great job.
Aw, thank you.
But it is now 8 o'clock.
Oh, it is 8 o'clock.
So it's that time. It's that time, folks. Time for the most important segment of the day. That's right, folks. It's time for Bird of the Day. And I don't have the PowerPoint up yet. I should probably do that. There we go. All right, time for Bird of the Day!
Yay!
All right, we're all going to have to move.
Oh, no.
You're going to need to get, like, right here. And I'm going to have to get right here. And Rodney, let's see
here.
Let's see, in the trash bin. That's where you belong, Rod.
Oh,
no, you need to be right here. In this big open space.
Okay,
there you go.
okay.
There you go. I'll be
there
right
we
here.
Go.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Okay.
There we go.
Well, we talked about what birds we could have, and the bird. You said you like silky chickens. Well, we already did those with Susie the Silky. We love. Susie, right?
I love Susie. Every time I go on Susie's channel, she'll always show me her chickens because I love chickens.
Yes, we love the chickens. The original, the OG4, amazing, living good lives now. Then the new ones, and then rest in peace, Butter. Rest in peace.
In peace, Butter.
Oh, I'm so sad. Butter was my favorite. I was very sad about that. But anyway, it's time for Corvus Twig's Bird of the Day. Today's bird, well, we've talked about this particular species of bird before, but we haven't talked about it on Bird of the Day. We talked about a specific member of this species of bird. It is a large bird. It is a majestic bird. It is a beautiful bird. It is my favorite type of bird that loves the water. That bird is the Laysan albatross. Now, we've covered the wandering albatross before, which is the largest species. With the Laysan albatross, they're a little different. There's some differences between them, but I mean, look at them. Look how smooth that bird is. How is a bird that smooth?
Eyeshadow.
I know that. God, love the dusky
eyes
eyeshadow.
On fleek.
I want to say that maybe this bird's name is Furiosa or something. It kind of got the Furiosa look to it. That's timely. That movie just came out. It kicks ass. Go see it. Yeah, the Laysan albatross. I mean, just beautiful, sitting there in the field. And so many interesting things. Yes, like a waxwing, another famously smooth bird. Now, these birds, about 32 inches long, and that's from beak to tail. So, that's like decent size, a little smaller than a goose, but oh my gosh, the wingspan, 77 to 80 inches. That's a big wingspan. That's what albatrosses are known for, gigantic wings. Yeah.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to weigh, so females are going to be like between 4.2 to 6 pounds, and the males are going to be between like 5.5 to 9 pounds. So the males are going to be a little bit bigger than the females. And they also have a very long lifespan. The average life of them, if they reach adulthood, they're going to live to be about 50 years old. Nice. Pretty good for a bird.
Wow.
Yeah. Albatrosses are some of the, they're up there with parrots in having very long lifespans. They do very well for themselves. Well, part of the big things that they do so well is that they're kind of big, and they spend a huge amount of their time up in the air. So they really don't have a lot of natural predators. Once they're adults, not a whole lot of things eat these. They're pretty safe out there. Not a lot of hawks and eagles flying out over the specifically the Pacific Ocean. As you can see, they are a Pacific bird. You see on the map there. But it's like the wandering albatross is more of a southern hemisphere albatross. This is a northern hemisphere albatross. So they kind of like the temperate to colder regions of the Pacific Ocean. So they get decently far south, but they're, not quite. Basically, that line there is basically the Tropic of Cancer or something, just above the tropics. And
It's a very pretty bird.
Now, you can kind of see there's that little tiny dot in the middle. That little dot is Hawaii. So they do nest in Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah, do some nesting there. I'm not even going to try and pronounce their scientific names because those are long words.
Too big.
Those I mean, it's probably Procellariforms and the Diomedidae.
Diomedidae.
Phibastria imatabilis. It's a lace and albatross. It's a lace and albatross. It's how you need to know. The Diomedidae family is all albatrosses. So, they're albatross. That's all you need to know. They're albatross. And these ones, other species of albatross may be more white. These ones have the black wings, but with the nice white smooth feathers and, and the eyeshadow. We love the eyeshadow.
I like the gradient in the eyes and the beak. It's very pretty.
Oh, so pretty. They're very pretty birds. Now, these birds, they don't actually start mating until they're like 8 or 9 years old. But the funny thing is that they find their mate usually when they're 5, 6, or 7 years old. They'll return to where they were born and kind of join the flock and kind of hang around and look for, they kind of do like the little teenage socials and try and meet someone. And if they meet the right bird, they will form a partnership. But the courtship will last several years, and they'll just kind of, stick together. But once they've made a mate, they tend to mate for life. There's been some banded pairs that have been witnessed mating with each other for over 40 years. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff. Now the neat thing is their nests are actually not consistent in what they're made out of. But what they do is they find small islands and atolls that are kind of isolated, don't have many other life on them, and then just thousands of these birds will descend on them, and they'll all make their nests, and they'll make them on the ground, and they'll use sticks and twigs and mud and whatever they can do, just a nice little cozy place. And the female will lay her egg, and then most of the time they will switch off. So one person's gotta go eat. So the other, one bird eats while the other incubates, and then they switch off until the single egg is born. Just one little egg. And then both parents will care for that egg, and you just kind of have a little colony of babies. It's very communal. There's lots of other albatrosses around. The parents are the ones doing the primary feeding and stuff. But in terms of keeping a watch out for predators and just keeping the care of the area, it's a communal effort. And so one of the reasons that they've been so successful and so numerous, it's only one egg a year. That's not much. Yeah, but their survival rate for that egg is some of the highest in the bird kingdom.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting thing. For every 5 females there's only 3 males. Now, you could see how that could cause a problem. Now, with some species, it wouldn't be a big deal. The males would just be like, I'm going to mate with you, I'm going to mate with you, I'm going to mate with you, I'm going to mate with you. And then they're fine because, it's just, the females can just do the raising on their own, like hummingbirds. The male hummingbirds don't stick around. But these ones, they do the raising communally as both a mom and dad. Well, so here's the thing. They will have males that will sleep with multiple females. But if that male, does the dirty deed with a female and they're not mates, well, she'll have a mate. And that mate will be another female. And they estimate 30% of breeding pairs on these islands and atolls are 2 females. That's right, baby. We got a Pride Month bird right here. We got lesbian albatrosses. And people who say that being lesbian is not natural, well, fuck you. Here's nature doing it right here. Here's the gay bird. Here's the proof. And it turns out that, seagulls can do it too. It's like, yeah, if there's a surplus of females to males, being lesbian pairs is actually pretty common in seabirds. It's a thing. So don't ever try and say it ain't natural, because here's proof it absolutely is natural.
Lesbian birds.
We stan lesbian birds.
We stan them.
We stan them. Doesn't happen so much with gay male couples because, they can't lay eggs. But, the bros hang together. The bros are chill. There might be some male-on-male mating. I wasn't able to find information on that, but, not going to get an egg out of that. But, male-on-male sex is actually super, super common in the animal kingdom.
It is.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Guess what, people? Nature is gay. Hello, Neva. Thank you so for the follow.
Hi, Neva.
So,
one of my followers.
Wonderful. So, I'd mentioned how I had talked about this species of bird before, and it was back in the 2023 Bird of the Year competition. And there's a picture of her on the right. Wisdom, the Laysan albatross, is the oldest wild bird on record.
Wow.
She was believed to be 5 years old when they banded her in 1956. So they don't know her exact age, but they're pretty sure she was 5 years old in 1956. And she's still alive, 73 years old. And
she's slaying.
She is slaying. She has raised over 35 chicks.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And so she's not only just a mom, she's also at this point probably a great grandma, and a great great grandma, and a great 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 grandma, and a great 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 grandma. I mean, who knows how many generations down the line of albatrosses? Actually, you think about it, every 8 or 9 years. So let's say 70. I don't know. She might just have there might only be 7 or 8 generations, considering how long it takes before they start breeding. But still, that's pretty goddamn impressive.
It is.
Yeah. And now the main reason that I picked the Laysan albatross is, their favorite food. They are carnivorous, and they will eat, small fish and shrimp and krill. But their favorite snack by a huge margin is squid. They like cephalopods.
It's doing a good job.
They love
me being eaten.
Yeah, they love to eat squid. That's their favorite thing. There's a squid that's up near the surface. Guess who's gonna swoop down and eat it? I mean, come on, who doesn't enjoy a little calamari? It's delicious. I love good calamari.
All the birds want to eat me. This is why you brought me here.
This is why I brought you here.
This is a trap.
This is a trap. It's exactly it. Look, it's fitting.
Oh.
Look, I think you're too big. You're not normal squid size. You're like I don't think they go after giant squid. Well, I could imagine
the squid I based off of is a very tiny squid.
What kind of squid are you based off of?
I think it's a Hawaiian bobtail squid.
Oh, Hawaiian? You mean near the islands where they most like to, oh no. Yeah, that's probably their favorite treat. I'm sorry.
Oh
no. When somebody said you were a snack, this isn't what they meant.
No. They were literal. I'm a literal snack.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the way it is. They are carnivorous birds, and they gotta eat something. And squid are delicious. They like their little sushi.
Oh no.
Well, I was talking earlier about one of their great defense mechanisms, but it's not just for travel, but also a great defense mechanism is their ability to fly for really, really, really long periods of time. Because they get up there over those ocean jet streams, and basically they get up there and they just put their wings out, and keeping their wings outstretched, it's not like humans. Like humans hold their arms out, it starts to get tired pretty quickly. Not true for the albatross. They hold their wings out. Basically takes zero effort for them to keep their wings out.
Oh, wow.
And they can just ride that jet stream without ever flapping their wings. And because their wings are so huge compared to their body size, they can fly literally, like, I'm not talking days. I'm talking months. They can go months without ever landing. They sleep while they fly. It's amazing. They're just like, all right, I'm up here. There's nothing for me to hit. I'm just going to put the wings out and take a little nap.
Chill.
Now, they don't sleep for 8 hours at a time while they do that. They take kind of like, micro naps. Take multiple naps through the day. So they get 8 hours of sleep during a day, but it's not all in one big chunk. And their physiology is a little different. But it's kind of amazing that they can just stay flying for that long a time.
It is very impressive.
Now, obviously, they're going to have to swoop down at some points to get some food, but they can actually go... They can go considerable amount of time without eating if they gorge themselves on squid. But the funny thing is that, their wing flapping is actually kind of difficult for them, and they're not really good at flapping their wings to take off. So if they're, like, on a flat surface and there's no wind, they can't take off. They need wind. They don't necessarily need wind, but they really have a tough time of it. They almost need like a hill to go down or something to really get some speed to take off. But like on a flat surface with no wind, they ain't gonna be able to take off. They need that wind to really get them going. And but luckily they out by the Pacific Ocean, it windy out there, so they
windy.
It windy.
Heckin' windy.
Heckin' windy. So. Yeah, I just think that's interesting. Not good at flapping their wings, but they're just like little gliders. Just go forever. Now, another interesting thing about it is that like they live out in the Pacific Ocean. Not a lot of fresh water out there, but a bird's still got to drink. Well, they can drink seawater, and they have a tube nose, it's called. It's like a little filter inside their bill, and it filters out the salt. And they can basically filter it and drink salt water. That's pretty damn cool.
Wow. That is cool.
Yeah. I cannot drink salt water. You must constantly be submerged in salt water. So it's kind of
my favorite snack.
Yeah.
Get some salty water. You know when you're craving something salty?
Yeah, just drink
there you go.
Just drink a little salt water.
Drink some salt water.
I tell you, having grown up in Minnesota around lakes, and you get the little bit of water in your face or something, or a little bit in your mouth, it's like, kind of gross, but not too bad. And then you go to the ocean, and you get seawater in your mouth, and you're like, ah!
You feel it just dehydrate your skin. Your eyes start stinging. Your mouth goes dry.
Yeah, it's weird.
Confusion.
Well, but the last bit that I have to say is a very good thing. They, on the endangered species list, they are a species of least concern. And in fact, over the last 20 years, their population has actually grown.
That's a good thing.
I know, you'd think with like the warming seawaters, it might cause issues for them. But nope, they've adapted just fine. And yeah.
I can see them adapting fine because if seawater's warming, that keeps more fish to the surface and they take advantage of that.
I could see that, yeah. Not good for the fish, but good for the albatross, yeah.
Terrible for the fish, terrible for the squids.
Yeah.
Good for the bird.
Sorry to traumatize you like this. And then lastly, here's a nice picture of a nice community. As you can see,
they're really cute.
They flock in the thousands. And here's a wonderful little picture of them. So my thoughts, I mean, they're a seabird. I typically don't like water birds. Gulls and skuas and petrels, but the albatross, I mean, I just have, like, I'm in awe of the albatross. Their ability to fly, just everything about them. It's just like, this is a model example of what a water bird should be.
Got a shape to them.
Very interesting shape. I love their beaks. Got such a cool little beak. Got that little pointing down thing is to help them grab onto slippery things like fish and squid. And
they look like they'd be nice to hug.
Yeah, I would
hugging shape.
I would hug them. I don't think an albatross would very much like to be hugged, but
probably not.
Yeah. I'm not really sure how they act around people. They don't seem to. They live in areas where there's really not a lot of people. But obviously people have a good relationship with them. I mean, one of the big cultural things is they don't specify what type of albatross it is, but the classic rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, talking about the old sailors thing, is how it's like killing an albatross is considered extremely bad luck for sailors.
I could see that.
Yeah. And you get an albatross hung around your neck, and it's bad luck. And then Iron Maiden writes a song about you, and it kicks ass. But yeah, I mean, they love the Laysan albatross. Great bird. Top tier of all the seabirds. They are the top of the seabirds list for me. They're the best. They're great. And I got nothing more to say, unless you got something more to say.
I want to pet one.
That's
all I gotta say.
Look, I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan, Cannon Fodder. We're gonna sneak in as many references as we can. Maybe I'll sneak one in during the game too. But speaking of the game, it's time to get back to the studio and play the game. So let's
game
head
time.
Back. No.
All right. I gotta move back over.
Yeah, get back to your couch. This is my spot.
I'm hiding behind your desk.
All right. Well, you mentioned earlier that you grew up watching Studio Ghibli movies.
Mm-hmm.
Ow! Sorry. No. Someone decided to throw a giant Rodney at me.
He's so slow. He's just falling so slowly.
Yeah, the giant one does that. Well,
he's breaking his physics.
You mentioned that you're a big fan of Studio Ghibli.
Mm.
1 second, that slideshow's taking a second to... Come on, open. Why is it not opening? 1 second, I'm having...
Drink some water.
It's not opening. The file's not opening.
Game too powerful.
Oh, this could be a real problem. Why is it not opening? Okay, that opened. This is really bad.
Oh no!
I made a whole game, and it's not.
Oh no!
Okay. I might be able to. Because you can use like the Google. I wonder if I can open it in Google Slides.
Okay.
I might try it. It's can you import into? Can you import? I think you can.
I believe you can. Yeah, I think you can open because you can export Google Slides into PowerPoints.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. So let's see slides. How do I do this? Okay, first I should switch to Corvus Twig instead of my personal name.
Yeah, don't dox your name.
Sorry about the technical thing. I swear I had this.
I told you, Scuff follows me. I'm a Scuff magnet.
Let's see, file. Open. Computers. Do I have to, like, put it in my drive first?
Didn't have so much Scuff recently. See, this is all the Scuff.
Yeah, this is a Scuff. You are a Scuff magnet.
I am a Scuff magnet. I guess it's my party trick. I bring the Scuff.
Alright, I'm going to do a thing here. Upload PBTX to Google Slides. Okay. Click File, hit Open, click Upload, that you can browse your device. Oh, okay. Upload. There we go.
Got the TV turning off points the TV microwave explodes. The things I accidentally do to electronics. I'm not even bad with electronics. Things
I
just
know.
happen.
Who did this to me?
It's my magic scuff powers.
Okay. Slideshow. All right. Now I'm gonna have to do Firefox. Okay, there it is. But I'm gonna have to resize this because it's like full screen. But full screen is fine.
Name the Ghibli movie. Oh goodness.
Okay, so name the Ghibli. I am going to show a screenshot from a Ghibli movie,
Oh no.
and you are going to have to tell me what movie it is. Do you think?
Oh no.
Now, Dre said you're going to kick butt on this, but
Did Dre say that?
Dre did say this.
Dre forgets. I get nervous.
I mean, obviously, this one doesn't count, but
no.
But you do know which one this is, right?
Yeah, that's my neighbor Totoro.
Okay.
I got to see that in theaters when they did a rerun a few years ago.
All right, let's hope this works.
I said your autism.
All right.
Gonna help you. Oh no.
What movie is this?
Oh fuck! I just watched that one too. That's the one where they restore a school building.
It is, and there's a possible incest thread.
Yes, unfortunately.
But don't worry, it's okay. It's not. It ends up not.
It ends up not happening. I remember watching it and being like, "Oh, that's interesting," because I don't like when anime does that. But they restore a school building and incest in my family. I can't remember the name of this one. I just watched it like last year. I remember the plot vividly.
But you just don't remember the name of it. All right, well, I guess you're not starting off perfect. This one is Up on Poppy Hill.
Yes, Up on Poppy Hill. I remember there's a flower in the name.
Yes. Yes, there is.
And that's where they restore the school. And they work very hard on it. And the school, I remember the school falls apart.
Well, that's just 1 out of 20. You can still get an A.
20?
Yeah, it's 20. There's a lot of Ghibli movies.
There is.
All right. How about this one?
Oh, that's Arietti.
Is it Arietti? Well, The Borrower Arietti. Close enough. I'm giving that to you. Yeah, you got it. Although I've seen like a couple of them. I've seen like two. They had multiple names for it. I guess it's just like
Here it was. I
translations.
think in Canada when it was released, it was just Arietti.
Yeah, I think the Japanese title is The Borrower Arietti, and then the North American release was just Arietti.
Oh yeah, it was The Secret World of Arietti.
Yeah. That's the thing, is it's one of those situations. Actually, we had the thing a couple weeks ago where movies with different titles in different countries and guessing it. And so a lot of these, I think, are the direct Japanese translation rather than the American version. But if you're close enough, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, because they do that a lot. It's funny when they go to different countries because a lot of, like, I remember when Moana was released in other countries, they had to change the name because it meant something very dirty in other languages.
I believe it. All right. You better get this one.
Oh, Howl's Moving Castle.
Okay,
that is my favorite movie ever. I literally watch that once a year.
It's a very good movie. I enjoyed it.
It's my favorite. It's one of my comfort movies. Some
people don't like it. I found
it's usually the people that read the books that don't like it because it's not like the book. Yes, I have brain rot about Howl's Moving Castle. I really like Hal.
We like Hal. We like Hal. All right. A lot of these, the main character is not going to be in the screenshot because that would be too easy.
Background characters.
Oh, these are like my favorite characters in this movie.
That, I'm thinking.
I mean, there's definitely some screenshots from this movie that would make it so immediately obvious, but Dre said make it hard for you, so I made it harder for you.
Dre's mean.
Well, if Dre's like, oh, if you do Studio Ghibli, she's gonna get every single one of them absolutely perfect, spot on. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll grab a screen grab that's not of the main characters,
I was gonna say this is definitely Ponyo because of the background. Looks
That's
really
correct.
creepy.
It's Ponyo.
Yeah, because I know which scene this is, and actually, Ponyo is one of my least favorite Ghibli movies.
Really? Well, I liked the grandmas. I like the grandmas.
The grandmas were sweet. It wasn't. Ponyo was. It's just a. I don't know what it was. It just never clicked for me.
Yeah, it's fine.
I like her dad.
Yeah. He's a very Ghibli style character.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this is Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yes, it is. And I always, when I first saw this clip, now it's probably a little too small on the screen to read in there. There's kind of a funny thing about this map that she's holding up. I can read it fine on my screen. I don't know if the viewers can. But you read the names of the towns there. Haleakala, Kalahui, Hana, Lahanai. So apparently Kiki's Delivery Service takes place on Maui. Because those are
weird, the names they use.
Almost every single city name that's on there is a city in Maui, but there's a couple other non-Maui cities on there as well. But like the center of town is labeled Haleakala, which is the name of the high peak of Maui, the volcano. It's just like, what?
Which is funny because the town she's in is very like European, as a lot of Ghibli movies are like, a lot of them are very European.
Yeah.
And like Italian, like you see them and it's like very... They're always very European inspired.
Having been to Maui, the world of Kiki's Delivery Service don't look nothing like Hawaii.
It's ambiguous Hawaii. You just know because of the names.
Yes, this is the screen grab, of course, when she's out making one of her first deliveries and trying to figure out where to go.
That's a very sweet movie. I like that one.
It's a great one. Oh, I saw somebody did like fan art of like a Super Nintendo Kiki's Delivery Service game that was just like one of those cozy like games where you just like, you're Kiki and you make deliveries and you have to like, manage stuff. And I'm like, oh God, I wish that game was real.
This is a very therapeutic movie to watch if you're dealing with burnout and doubt for yourself. This is a very therapeutic movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I like it. All right.
Let's hope I can get the next one.
This is a hard one.
Oh shit, I know this one. This is an older one. You can tell because of how the characters are on the cell sheet. God, I rented this from Blockbuster as a kid. Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna have to give up on this one because I know what it is, but I will not remember the name.
That's fair. Yeah, the kite is a good clue. This is Nausicaa.
Yes.
The OG.
Valley of the Winds.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's a fun one. It's an older one.
Thanks for lurking, Squidly, but I don't have a lurk command set up.
I don't either. Everyone always uses it on my streams, but I don't have one.
All right. What this one?
I'm gonna have to strangle Dre for embarrassing me. This is Oh, I really like this one. I watched this one on Netflix. You're embarrassing me, Dre! I literally said at the beginning I'm not good with names. I'm never good with names. I'm so embarrassed right now. I know this one, what it is, because it's something youth. Like, it has to do with her like, with when she's at, this scene is in a hotel.
This is one I personally have not seen.
It's a good one. I liked it. It's more adult oriented. It's not, and I don't mean that in an appropriate way. This movie is more of a
it's not
an adult story.
Yeah, okay, I get that. But do you know its name?
It's a TV movie. Yeah, it's and this one's also different because it doesn't really follow the formula of a Ghibli style in the way it looks.
Which is fine. And I have to say, these are all Studio Ghibli. They're not necessarily all Miyazaki.
No, and that's the fun fact too, is not all of them are by him.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously the prominent director of the studio, but that doesn't mean that he's...
That's like Grave of the Fireflies is technically.
We haven't gotten to that one yet.
I know, but that's one of my favorite facts. Is this one it's not Ocean Waves, is it?
It is. I Can Hear the Sea.
Oh, so that's the Japanese translation.
Yeah, it might. Ocean Waves might be correct.
This one, it was the other one I didn't like that we watched on this time. I'm saying this to my partner that's in the chat. It is, yeah, it's Ocean Waves in the
Okay,
English
then I will give it
translation.
to you. You got it right then. Yeah.
Because I think this one's on Netflix. I think I watched this one on Netflix.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right. This one, just by the art style, you should be able to get immediately.
Oh, yeah.
The watercolor style.
The watercolors. This one's, I really love the style in this one.
This is one of their best movies, I think.
Yeah, it's the Princess Kaguya, Tale of Princess Kaguya.
Yes, of course.
This one's always a really comfy one to watch. It's very unique compared to the rest of all their other movies.
An absolutely gorgeous movie. Highly recommend.
Highly.
All right. This is one of my favorites.
Oh, is that Porco Rosso?
It sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's got one of the best straight-up stories of it, and, you know... Plus
It's fun. That was another one I remember renting as a kid from Blockbuster.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a fun one. I like this one. I'm locking in now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dre. You can't embarrass me anymore.
No, you're doing pretty good so far. I'm keeping track, you know.
I gotta, it's like I gotta warm up the brain, right? I gotta go into my brain and find that file folder.
Yeah. Enter the Mind Palace.
Enter my mind palace.
All right, how about this one?
Oh! This one just came out. That's The Boy and the Heron, isn't it?
That is The Boy and the Heron, yes.
That one's really freaking good.
I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list.
Please watch it. It is so good. Honestly, I think this is one of my favorite movies by them now. It has a very nice, obscure storyline. I really, really recommend it. It's a very deep story. It's not necessarily, it's one of their not child-oriented ones.
Nice, nice.
Also, William Dafoe has a part in it, and he does really good.
We like Willem Dafoe.
He does really good in it. It's a very brief part, but oh my god, it's so spine-chilling the way he does it.
I will check it out.
Yeah.
All right. If you don't get this one, you're fired.
Don't fire me. This is great. Now I'm getting like all. This is Spirited Away.
Yes.
It's another
Spirited Away was hard to find a good screen grab for that didn't just completely give it away immediately.
It's so, honestly, Spirited Away is one of the most unique looking movies out of all of them because the character design is so different.
I mean, like, pretty much the entire cast is just iconic in their design.
They are. It's like you can't look at it and be like, oh, I don't know what that one's from. Like, you see that and it's like, yeah, that's Spirited Away.
Yeah. And, like, this is a pretty minor character, all things said and done when it comes to it. But even then, you can look at him and be like, oh, that guy looks like he's from Spirited Away. Because he is. Yes. All right.
Ooh, that is a harder one.
Well, even the way they're dressed, it looks kind of feudal Japan era.
Yeah, it's one of their feudal Japan ones. Very famous one. I'm being mocked. Super famous. Everyone's mocking me.
Yeah, the crowd knows it.
There's an animal in there?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Princess Mononoke?
It sure is Princess Mononoke.
There we go. I didn't see him hiding in there.
Yeah, yeah. Another one where, like, so many iconic visuals to find one that doesn't completely give it away.
Yeah, you did a good job with this one because I didn't see.
Yep, the head coverings on the women was a big part of it, and yeah.
That's one I haven't watched in a while.
It's pretty good. It's the most. It's way more violent than I remember it being.
It is. It's one of the more violent Ghibli movies.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, this was another older one.
Oh, come on, you got this. I know you got this one.
I have to think about this one. I have to think about it.
You can think.
Thinking.
Should I put a time limit on these?
No! No time limit, or I won't get them at all. Oh no!
Would it help if I told you that you've already mentioned this movie?
Is it Grave of the Fireflies?
Could you form that instead of a question? Could you say it as an answer?
Grave of the Fireflies!
Yes, it's Grave of the Fireflies. Again, if I showed either of the main two brothers, it'd be too easy.
Oh yeah, I see. That's what I was trying to think, because I'm like, that's definitely
World War II uniform.
World War II uniform, yeah. But then I was like, I saw the World War II uniform, but
is
they
the
have
younger
a
one
few.
A girl? Oh.
Yeah, it's a little sister.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
They have a few World War II movies that they've done, or like World War II themed. So I was like, which ones have they done that have that uniform?
Well, this one feels
Wind Rises.
Yes, well, you got that right away.
I really like that one. It makes me cry.
It's another one I've yet to see.
It's a good one. I personally like it. There's not many Ghibli movies I don't like, but this one is a sad one, but I like it. It's very interesting.
Okay, well, moving on. I mean, this one should be pretty easy.
Oh, I love this one! It's The Cat Returns!
The Cat Returns is indeed correct.
I love this one! I had a crush on the cat when I was a kid. The one in the suit.
Yes, the adult cat.
The adult cat.
Yeah. He's this is a movie for furries. Quasi sequel to another Ghibli.
Sweats.
Yes, because
I'm not beating the furry allegations.
Hey, nothing wrong with being a furry. Furries are cool these days. We made fun of furries on the internet 20 years ago, and now it's just like, oh, we got much bigger fish to fry. Furries are cool.
Yeah, furries are cool. They do a lot of cool stuff. They develop vaccines and stuff.
Yeah.
They do good things.
And single-handedly keep artists able to pay their rent.
I wish a furry would adopt me and pay my rent.
I know, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, this one is also a semi-sequel to another Ghibli movie, and the cat shows up in other movies as like a figurine.
Bon isn't a furry. Bon's a squirmy.
Squirmy?
Look, there's different terms for like anthros that are not mammals, but I don't know what the term would be for a cephalopod.
we had a situation at Anime North at a booth where someone had two very furry coated pins, and I pointed them out to Dre, and I'm like, hey, like that's that. And I'm not going to say it on stream because it's inappropriate to say on stream. And then the artist looked at me and they're like, yeah, that's how I figure out who's a furry.
Nice.
I was like, oh my god, that's terrible. Why would you do that to me in public?
Look, I'm a bird, so I'm definitely furry adjacent here.
Yeah, we're all furries here.
I'm a downy.
A downy. I don't think you should say that. I'm pretty sure that's a slur for people with Down syndrome.
Oh, I don't. I'd never heard that used as a slur for people with Down syndrome, so I did not know that was a slur. Otherwise, I obviously would not have used it. I thought it was just a brand of fabric softener. Well, I apologize if I offended anyone. That was, yes, I deserve that. Look, I honestly had never heard that term before. Sorry,
You didn't mean harm with it.
Let's move on before I cancel myself even further.
You say another accidental slur. Oh, I think this might be one I may have not seen.
All I know is this is one of the creepiest images I've seen from a Ghibli movie.
That's why I'm saying it, because I'd remember something like that once I did take a
It says, this movie is supposed to be the story that the girl from Whisper of the Heart was writing. Huh.
Oh, really?
Well, this is one I haven't seen either. I just saw this screen cap. I'm like, okay, that looks cool as hell.
I think this is definitely the rare one I have not seen. I'm going to be honest.
So you gonna pass on this one?
I will pass on this one.
This is Tales from Earthsea.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Okay. Well, it's hard to watch every single movie a studio has put out.
Well, especially when these were big and I was in that prime age for watching.
Nice to see Ozzy Osbourne get some work. That's good. If those were glasses and not sunken eye holes, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like a lot of the ways I had to, as someone who grew up on anime since I was like, my first anime was Sailor Moon. My parents really would put it on for me when I was a toddler. And I grew up on all that anime, but how I accessed it was through whether it was on TV late at night or if Blockbuster happened to get the DVDs or my parents find them. So like there's some Ghibli movies that would have been very big at those times that I have not seen.
Got it. All right, how about this one?
Oh, I love this one. This is when Marnie was there.
Close enough. Well, that's
exactly
the
English translation.
Yes.
When Marnie was there, yeah.
Yes. I like how I said close enough, even though you said exactly what the words on the screen said. 100% accurate is close enough. Yeah.
Close enough. Yeah, that was a really sweet one. Yeah, because Marnie was the kid's grandmother.
Oh, okay.
And so she's like learning about her grandmother and everything. That was a good one.
Cute. Flowers and people standing in them. This is one I have not seen.
This one's familiar.
It is kind of an obscure one, I think.
Yeah, that is definitely obscure one. And the way she's smiling, it reminds me of Only Yesterday. So I'm gonna say it's Only Yesterday because they're harvesting the marigolds, and I'm pretty sure she helps them with that. Is it Only Yesterday?
It is Only Yesterday. Good job. You got it.
See, that one's also a trick one because during the movie, it alternates between her being an adult and her being a child. And when she's a child, it has, Caillou, how it does that faded border?
No, I don't know how Caillou does that because Caillou sucks.
Caillou does suck, but as a Canadian with parents that came from Quebec, I grew up with Caillou, unfortunately, but they do that faded border when she's a child for her memories. But when she's an adult, it's full. So that's why I was like, that's a trick one.
Ah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got a little violin player. Girl who's astounded by the ability.
Oh, shit. I know this one.
Well, then tell me the answer.
I'm thinking. Because this one was a really sweet one, too. This is actually one I'm pretty sure the cat from Cat Return shows up as a figure in this one.
Interesting.
And I can't remember it right now. Confuse it with another one. Now I'm getting all... This one's a tricky one.
Come on, you can do this. I need an answer. I need an answer that people denied an answer.
I know this one, but I'm gonna have to pass on it because I can't remember. It's
Whisper
been a while
of
since
the
I
heart.
watched. Yes.
Whisper of the heart.
Whisper of the heart. Oh, that's why they were going. Psh. Yes, it has the "Take Me Home" country. Yeah.
Yep. Final one.
Final one. I'm a failure.
Look at all those raccoons. Or
So
are they tanukis?
Tanuki. Yes, they're Tanuki. And I'm gonna mix this up with the name of another anime that has Tanuki that I really like.
Isn't that just Totoro and his family?
It's Pulse of Fury. What was it? It's like Pulse of Fury. Is it Palm? Palm something.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
I'm halfway there. Tanuki. Poco?
That is correct.
Pom Poco! I haven't.
Poco.
Oh. Pom Poco!
You got it! Yay!
Yeah!
Well,
This is a very evil shot of the Tanuki.
well, that's the end of it, and you got a score of 16 out of 20.
Oh!
That's pretty good. That's really good. I mean, for a
I
quiz,
locked
you
in.
didn't get to study for it. You know, if you don't study a quiz, you know, it's like just a pop quiz that you don't know what it's going to be about. Getting 16 out of 20, it's pretty impressive. That's
Hey,
real
better
impressive.
than how I did in my entire school career. Just give me anime and I'll get through it.
Yeah, well,
Give
great
me
job.
math and nope.
We're all proud of you. Despite what
Thank you.
Dreyfrig says, we're all proud of you.
I know, Dre's so mean to me.
Yeah, don't let Dreyfrig get you down. You did great. You were so wonderful. Ow. But yeah,
That was a fun little quiz. That really used my Ghibli knowledge that I haven't locked into in a while.
You got a problem with can of gooses, you got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that one
That was
marinate.
fun. I really like that. Dre isn't disappointed. He's just mad. I don't know.
That's the opposite of what it's the phrase is.
Dre is always mad. Dre is always mad.
All right.
Dre yells at me when we play Fortnite.
Yeah, Dre's surprised you fumbled it, but you only fumbled 4. And I think all 4 were ones you hadn't seen before, so I mean, it's pretty good.
I've
Pretty
seen.
good.
There was one I hadn't seen. The Creepy Eyes one was one I have not seen. Whisper the Heart.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of
you
these like, oh, I've seen this, but I just can't think of it.
I needed to get locked in. The first one I've seen. That was one I've also seen. I'm gonna beat up Dre after this.
Yeah, well, I'll help. But anyway, we're reaching the end of the show now. It's been a great night. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. I hope everyone
It was
had fun.
fun. I love doing these things. This was a lot of fun, and I like that you played the game. I appreciate you put so much effort into that.
Sometimes I feel like I put too much work in, and so I only do one stream a week, folks. I pull all prep into
You
these
definitely,
shows.
I definitely respect the amount of work you put into this. It was very creative. It's very unique. You don't see this often with a lot of VTubers, so I think you're definitely filling in a niche of VTubers, and I think you should keep doing it.
I'll keep doing it as long as I can get guests. So if you or anybody watching knows any VTubers that you would like to have come on the show, please tell them to contact me because my circle of VTubers is starting to run out.
I'll help find you some VTubers.
That'd be great.
And I'm glad we could finally do it because I know we've been saying like, oh, you should come on for a while now, and we keep forgetting.
Well, next week we've got somebody who I've known since I first started VTubing. Their name is Neff. They are a demon.
Oh.
And I'm looking forward to having Neff on. But next Sunday, it's going to be a bit of an earlier show because Neff is one of those European folks. And Sunday Dusk, it'll be Dusk for the Dusk for the Europeans, not so much for the Americans. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah, Neff rules. We love Neff. So, anything you'd like to plug before we head on out of here?
Sometimes I draw pretty girls on my channel.
Yeah, just
and
all the
play
links that you
Fortnite.
need are on Bond's page. So click the name in the description, go to the About tab. You'll find everything you need to find there.
If you like Elf Brain Rot and Pretty Girls,
Yeah, you like it.
and sometimes Fortnite.
And then everybody come by tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Time. We're going to have our next episode of Twig's Missing Movies. It's with Tora, and we watched Major Pain,
Cool.
the Damon Wayans classic from 1995. So come find out what old Twiggy thought about that one.
We'll definitely come by. I like watching your movie stuff.
All right. And we'll get you on that show sometime soon, too. All right, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oops.
It's the scuff curse that follows me.
Yeah, we're rating Ruby Lark VT. They're a bird-themed VTuber. I think I met them through the bird server. The button did escape.
Yeah, I know Ruby Lark.
Yeah, the button escaped. It's out there. And
that was a lot of fun.